Another album that's influenced me as an artist, but one that is drilled into my mind. Melody. The importance of using melody in my music. The effectiveness and usefulness melody has on its listeners so that when they hear my songs, it does not quickly leave their minds. All right, Sonic the Hedgehog 2 soundtrack for Sega Genesis. Boom! Cue the music, please. All right, I'm not messing around, folks. I was obsessed with Sonic. I brought some pictures that I drew from the early 90s. Here's one from probably mid-90s, 95 or so. Mecha Sonic. Very proud of that one. Very proud of that one. Lots of detail. Another one I drew from either 99 or 2000 when I paused the anime VHS tape and drew the still frame of it. Here's one from 2001 from when I had a Sega Dreamcast and the game Sonic Adventure 2. I drew Shadow the Hedgehog there. And then here's the last one I brought for you to see from a game called Sonic Shuffle off Sega Dreamcast. I drew that in 05. So very, very appreciative of Sonic, the Sonic franchise, anything Sonic, really. And before we dive in, check out this birthday gift I got this year from my best friend Chris. Oh, it's coming. That's hot, right? That's freaking awesome. And then here's the movie ticket from my birthday when he went and took me to the movie. Yeah, so everything about Sonic I've always loved. But it's just amazing. I never knew that God would use this game to teach me to write my own melodies. He would teach me how to be able to recall melody. He would teach me to be able to sing in the same key throughout a song. He would teach me really how to effectively use my memory in music and to hijack other people's memories. Okay, so how about we start off with a pitch test? Because when I was at Burger King with my best friend Steve a lot, I would have a song come into my mind, and I would start humming it just out of nowhere. And I said, Steve, how much you want to bet this is in the exact same key as the recording? Okay, I would maybe hum a Backstreet Boys song, and for an example, I would hum it until we got home, and I'd push play on it, and sure enough, it'd be the same exact key, like every note would match. Let's try that right now. It's been 2 hours since I heard the soundtrack, and I'm gonna acapella a version of Chemical Plant Zone for you. All right. Which one am I gonna choose? Which note? Hey, Alright, let's see how close I was. It's been a couple hours since I heard it. Praise the Lord, check it out, right? How close was I? Check it out. So there you have it. From an early age, this taught me how to recall melodies, hours, weeks, months, sometimes years after I've heard a song. And that is tremendously useful when you're performing live and maybe, you know, there's technical difficulties going on and you have to compensate for it. You know, I had a guitar lessons business and I don't have a degree in music. We talked about me only doing a year of music in college and having to drop out, but people loved my guitar business because I was honest about that. I said I don't have a degree in teaching music, but what I do have is an effective ear for listening. Okay, a sound ear for melody, for what sounds good. And you know, I remember getting my first acoustic guitar. And again, I was thinking of my clients as being people who potentially might teach themselves. I was self-taught. So I would put my finger on the note on the guitar and I would just go up, boom, 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 boom. I'd go up, and when I hit a sour note that didn't feel comfortable, didn't sound comfortable with the other ones, later on I would learn that that wasn't part of the scale. So not only did I have the power of a sound ear, you know, selling with my acoustic guitar lessons company, but I also had the thing where I was self-taught. A lot of people have different types of ambitions. Maybe they don't have money for college and they want to be self-taught too, so I wanted to enable others to teach themselves. And about 6 or 7 years ago, I sat down next to the producer, the sound producer for John Mayer. He still works for him today. He also worked the tour Justified with Christina Aguilera and Justin Timberlake. And he heard my single that I produced, Proposition. And he said to me, David, you don't need my help. This sounds amazing. And, you know, I don't say that to kind of toot my own horn. I just say it because you don't need thousands and thousands of dollars worth of recording gear. All you need is an effective ear for listening. Okay? All the music you're hearing that I produce nowadays is the same music that I started producing it on 10, 12 years ago. 2005, Cubase Steinberg. Okay, that's the program I'm using. You don't need thousands of dollars worth of equipment. You just need an effective ear. So train your ear. Pay attention to melodies. I was 6 years old. It was 1993. And I was just these levels, the soundtrack to these levels were ingraining themselves into my memory. I want to teach you now how to remain in the same key as when you start, because that's important too. When you start singing a cappella, you're going to have to remain in the same key. So how about we switch over to Mystic Cave Zone. I'm going to play just the first 3 seconds of the song, and then I will carry on without anything, just my voice in the same key the whole time. And we'll see how well I did. All right. Again, it's been a couple hours since I heard this. Bow ba dum bum 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 ba dum bum 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 ba da ba da ba dum ba dum bum bum ba dum bum 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 ba ba da ba da ba dum ba dum bum bum ba dum bum. I'm losing it. All right. Isn't that amazing? Let's see how I did with the counting, right? I think there's 4 of these. This is the really hard part. Isn't that awesome? We have within us the ability to recall melodies hours after we've heard it. We have the ability to memorize the time signatures, the counting, okay? Now let's get into the theology, the breakdown of the songs themselves. These are complex compositions, very complex to be absorbing as a kid. So, and I'm going to prove it to you right now, okay? If you don't believe me, look into Sonic 3. The soundtrack was actually composed by Michael Jackson himself. And that testifies to just how much skill and ability and understanding of music could go into video game music. So check it out, right? We're going to break my favorite track down. We'll start by where the words could be. Okay, so I had the band called Sonic Underground in middle school. I had my friend Steve and Chris, and we started a band called Sonic Underground because there was a TV show, a cartoon called Sonic Underground with Sonic, his brother Manic, and his sister Sonia, and they were just this band who had instruments and stuff. And we would listen to music from Sonic Adventure 1, and we would hear this music, and there was a melody that would go throughout, and we said to ourselves, that's where the words are going to go. And it was really freeing. It was really fun to do this because we couldn't do these things from scratch. We had to start by listening to these Sonic songs. And so the melody going throughout turned out to be where we would put our words. The notes that we would sing our words would fall right in line to that melody. So right now I'm going to write a song with you to Sky Chase Zone, my favorite track off Sonic 2. I'm going to break it down. Just feel it. Make this into a song, I would start out with the chorus. That's the most catchy part. I think that really high part would be the main vocal, and the would be the background vocals. So what would I say? And I don't know what to do. Won't you tell me? And I don't know what to do. I don't either. Like, that's what we would do. We would match up the syllables with the melodies that were already there. And if you didn't have experience writing songs, it was just a real fun process to actually go through. So how about now we break down the song structure? No, we already did that. I think it starts with a chorus and then there's just a post-chorus. And if you wanted to, you can put verses to the chorus music, but they don't. They just have a chorus and a post-chorus, or that's just what I'm calling it. How about the instruments themselves, all right? It starts with just the drums, the beginning hook. It's going to bring them in. Boom, boom, boom. Right? And then it goes into the, you'll hear the bass guitar slide in. Boom. It's like actually a funky bass guitar. So let's pick out the bass guitar first. It slides in right here. It's like really fuzzy, really clunky. It's kind of like a horn type bass. It's sprinkled throughout. If you didn't hear the bass guitar, look for it, but this time focus on the bass drum, okay? This is fun, composing it. we started doing pop music, it was really important to give your song the extra punch by putting the bass guitar on the bass drum itself. It's really powerful. So as you go throughout your day and you hear a song, focus on that. Where's the bass guitar at? Is it on the bass drum? You might hear things like this. Now, how about pads or strings? In a pop song, songs that I've done, we've filled it out by putting pads, which are like, oh, like just oohs and ahs in an instrument form, and then strings on the left and right speaker. Where are the pads in this song? That sounds like pads already. Background vocals, main vocals. Pads are gonna come in here, check it out. So it's all gradually adding on to each other, and as you get recording equipment and you start making original songs, it starts with a melody, and as you can hear, it gets to be so much better the more melody you put onto it. So, I mean, who's to say those are the pads or the strings? One thing's for sure, it was another melody that fit into the same key, and you can really use any instrument you'd like. But yeah, so we've done Sky Chase Zone, we've done Mystic Hill Zone, I played we did the Recalling Melody experiment. That was really fun, wasn't it? And so, I just, again, I think it's so amazing that not only God was developing within me this knack for recognizing Scripture and using Scripture in my songs for the benefit of others to draw them in, but he was working on me back in 1993. He was working on me when I was 6 years old. Okay, God has a plan for our lives. And just think about that. It's amazing the power that a brain can have to recall things and to create things. And again, when you're creating music, composing music, you're actually just putting on display an attribute of God himself. He is a creator God. He creates. And he created us in his own image, so we are also to create. And so when we create, I just want to encourage you guys to stretch your understanding of how important melodies are. Because right now in my music career, I believe that God is giving me words to sing to all of you, and I don't want to waste those words. And I'm starting to learn that words that can change the world and personal words out of experience and heartbreak and things like that can change the lives of others will only ever be words unless you get melodies to attach them to. All right, guys, this has been an amazing and a really fun episode, episode 9 of the top 10 most influential albums of my life. I hope you'll join me as we close out this series. The next video, I'm going to be talking about how God inspired me to do songs that were bigger than me, songs that would go through me and not be just for me and about me. They would go on to point others to him and to transform lives and things, and I would not be able to take any of the credit for it because I'm going to talk about some dark times in my life, some weak times, times where you wouldn't have looked at me and said, wow, he's going to go on to write music. With that being said, I love you guys. It's been amazing. Deuce.